What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I gotta go ahead and say thank God for another day and another opportunity. Now, as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, today I'm gonna be showing y'all how to create my personal shot creating blocking wing in NBA 2K23 on next gen. Now, I'm telling y'all, this build name is actually going to come out to a shot blocking wing, but with this build we're going to be able to do a lot of everything, as y'all can see from the gameplay. Now, when it comes down to the badges, we're going to be able to start off rip with at least 90. Now, when it comes down to the actual animations and abilities, we're going to be able to get pro contact dunks as well as pro dribble moves. Now, when it comes down to the attributes, these are going to be the ones in which you're able to hit a 100 plus for, and that's taken into consideration with buying your own boost, which is a +5. If you run with a teammate that has Hall of Fame Flora General, that's going to be another +4. Now, take into account, if you pick 2 separate takeovers, that's a +10 towards your attributes. And then with the fact that if you do play better, your stats are also gradually going to raise. So that means when it comes down to 2 areas of this build, we're going to be able to get at least a 20+ when it comes down to the attributes with everything taken into consideration. Now, with this build, I'm telling y'all, one of my favorites that I've made in a while. Now look, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and last but not least, be sure to comment down TG for thank God, as well as where you're tuning in from watching today, and I most definitely will be getting back to y'all with the response. So as you can see, when it comes down to this build, I hope y'all enjoyed the gameplay so far, but I actually already have it recreated and made. But let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that we need to go ahead and do, make sure that we're making it out of the shooting guard position. Now, when it comes down to wing build names, normally we're only able to create them out of the small forward position, so I really think this is a glitched build when it comes down to the build name. But let's go ahead and get started with the shooting guard. Now, when it comes down to the body settings, this is going to be a vital part of this build, so I'm going to go with the height of 6'9" today. Now, when it comes down to the weight, I decided to go with 195, and then as for the wingspan, I'm going to go ahead and max this out to 7'7". Now, the body shape and what I like best is going to be built, and it's really going to help out on the defensive end if I'm going to be real with y'all. From here, let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of the attributes. So I'm going to go ahead and just get started at the top of the list. So when it comes down to the finishing, the close shot is going to be a 77. Now, for the driving layup, I decided to go with the 74. Now, when it comes down to the driving dunk, I'm going to go ahead and leave this at an 84. Then when it comes down to the standing dunk, I'm going to put this to a 68. Now, as for when it comes down to the post control, this is going to go all the way up to a 76, and I'm telling y'all, this is probably one of the very best things about this build. It makes it super versatile on the inside, especially if you have a smaller defender on you. And with the badges, I'm looking at Giant Slayer, even backed on Punisher, some of the finishing and the post scoring badges look solid. I like Pro Touch with Slithery, and then Limitless Takeoff with Fearless Finisher, but the main reason why I made this build is definitely going to be for the contact dunks, especially for the build name too. But look, we get Posterizer, Rise Up, as well as Silver Fast Twitch. Now, with a total of 20 badges, that's a good start for the offensive end. When it comes down to the mid-range shot, I'm going to go ahead and put this all the way up to a 79. Now, right there, we're going to go ahead and get 10 badges, but once it comes down to the 3-point shot, I'm going to go with an 80, and we get 20 again. And when it comes down to the free throw, I'm going to go with the 67, and right there, when it comes down to the badges, I like Amp, Space Creator, Volume Shooter, Green Machine, and Agent 3, but also when it comes down to Tier 3, Limitless Range is solid. 40 badges so far. Now, when it comes down to the pass accuracy, I'm going to go with the 78. Ball handle, I'm going to go with an 82. And then as for when it comes down to the speed with ball, I'm going to go with the 75. Now, right there, we get 20 badges again. And look, I like Ankle Breaker and Hall of Fame. Hyperdrive, we're also going to be able to get quick first step. Now, when it comes down to Tier 3, we have all the badges that we need. Now, if you were to throw your extra badges towards this area, you're definitely going to be able to get at least 2 or 3 of these badges equipped at the same time. But I like killer combos as well as handles for days. So when it comes down to the defensive end, on the interior, I decided to go with the 76. Now, for the perimeter, I'm going to go with the 79. And take into account when it comes down to the takeovers, that's going to play a huge factor with this build. When it comes down to the steal, I'm going to go with the 78, 93 when it comes down to the block, and that's really where you can get this build name from. So when it comes down to the offensive rebound, I'm going to go with the 76, and then when it comes down to the defensive, I'm going to go all the way up to an 82. Now I think when it comes down to the badges, for tier 1 all of them are balanced. We get gold box out beast with glove and post lockdown. For tier 2 I like clamps, interceptor, and chase down artist with silver challenger. But then for tier 3 anchor on gold with rebound chaser is definitely going to make this build shine. Now when it comes down to the physicals, I'm going to go ahead and put my speed up to an 80. As for the acceleration, I'm going to put this to a 75. Now when it comes down to the vertical, put this to a 75, and then when it comes down to the stamina, put this up to an 86, and if you want to, you can adjust any of these numbers, but take into account when it comes down to the Gatorade facility workouts or the gym rat badge, you get a +4. So technically, since I have gym rat, and for anybody who does, my stamina is going to be a 90. Then when it comes down to the vertical, this is going to be a 79. Same thing for the acceleration with an 84 speed. But you can also go ahead and change any of the numbers based to your own liking. I'm going to leave it like this, but when it comes down to the takeovers, we get the shot critting, sharp shooting, rim protecting, as well as the glass cleaning. Now honestly, to be the best overall, I think paint intimidation as well as the glass cleaning takeover would be super overpowered. But if you wanted to go with the sharpshooting takeover or the shot critting, I can definitely see this one being a good setup to go with. I'm going to leave it like this, but let's go ahead and get started and check out the build name. Now if you followed every single step, we should be getting these 3 comparisons. I like Tracy McGrady and Paul George myself. And as y'all can see, we have created the shot blocking wing in NBA 2K23. And I just want to know, everybody who is still watching, did you make this build exactly how I brought it to y'all, or did you recreate your own version? Let me know in the comments right now. Now taking into account with all of the boosts, I think this makes this one of the best builds that you can make out of the shooting guard position, especially to get a small forward type build name. I think that makes it all the better. But again, this is how I decided to go about it. Let me know what y'all thought about it. Let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of the badge layout. Now when it comes down to the finishing, I'm going to go with bronze posterizer as well as core rise up on bronze. Then for tier 2, silver limitless takeoff with fearless finisher, slithery, and then back down punisher. And then for gold, I'm going to go with pro touch, and I think these are going to be some very important badges to work with. Now if you want to go with fast twitch on silver, you can definitely go ahead and do so, but I think this setup is more like my own playstyle. You also have some other badges that you can work with as well. When it comes down to the shooting, I'm going to go with bronze agent 3, core, bronze limitless range, as well as silver green machine. Then for the gold, I'm going to go with space creator, midi magician, and amp. And then for the final one, hall of fame volume shooter. Now if you wanted to go with any other badges, remember, base this off of your own playstyle. I'm just showing y'all what I think is going to be the best setup going forward for this build. Now here's going to be a few different jump shots that we're actually able to pick and recreate from, and I think we do have a good selection, so I'm going to go with LaMelo Ball for now. Now when it comes down to the playmaking, I'm going to go with bronze mismatch expert, handles for days, client breaker, with silver core killer combos, quick first step, and hyperdrive with gold ankle breaker. Now look, if you throw your 4 extra badges into this area, we're going to be able to equip possibly every single badge out of the playmaking, especially if you have been grinding out each season and getting that extra badge upgrade. But I think if you wanted to go with Hall of Fame ankle breaker, it's definitely worth it. Now when it comes down to the defensive end, I'm going to go with bronze glove as well as rebound chaser, silver interceptor with gold pogo stick, cold gore anchor, and box out beast with Hall of Fame chase down artist. And there's a lot of other badges that you can pick from as well, but I think this is going to be the setup that's based off of my own playstyle and what's honestly going to be best for you as well. Now look, if you made it this far into the video, I just want to say thank you so much for your support. Let me know what y'all thought about this build today down below. And look, if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. And more so than anything, I would appreciate it if y'all went ahead and commented down TG for thank God, but also where you're tuning in from, and I'll be sure to hit y'all back with a response. But with all that being said, man, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.